Yo, what's up, Exiles? My name is Lord Shadow, and I basically wanted to create this video because I'm constantly seeing new players. They're complaining about, their builds aren't making it past, the beginning of Act 1 or 2 or 3 in normal. People are just constantly getting frustrated because their builds aren't working out, and they don't necessarily understand why. And just a lot of people who, want to play those cookie-cutter builds that will just allow them to get to the further content in the game. I wanted to create this because I'm constantly seeing these people, on the PoE subreddit. I see them in game a lot. Even in my own guilds, there's people that they just have a lot of questions. So I was kind of hoping to put this video out there as sort of a beginner's guide to PoE, and hopefully it transcends, future leagues. I think I wouldn't say I'm like the best, but I've kind of come down with a system. It works well for me, so put it out there, and hopefully it works well for you guys too. So basically, I'm a huge advocate of playing temp leagues. I can't stand standard hardcore. I can't do them. Those leagues have just been going on for so long. They're just so cluttered. Huge proponent of temp leagues. It's a fresh economy. It's a good chance to check out some of the new features that GGG is pushing. Just a huge proponent of them. So every time there's a new temp league coming out, I'm coming back to the game. And basically how it works is I get a chance to read the patch notes. I kind of see the direction the meta's going in, and then I'll choose my builds from there, kind of see like what kind of skills I want to roll with for the league. Now if you're a new player, you're going to want to search for some kind of build guide. Now I recommend this because if you're making your first, second, third build, you're probably running into a lot of problems unless you're picking up the game quick, but it's just such a large game now. There's so much to learn. It just gets more complicated every temp league. So what I do is I'll go in, I'll check what patch we're in, which you can see in the bottom right. So we're in 2.1 right now. And what I'll tell people is just go on Google. All you have to do is type in like PoE budget builds, enter the patch you're in, and it's going to come up with some build ideas for you. You can kind of browse through them, see if you can find something that sounds interesting to you. And the benefit of that is you're going to get to learn from someone else. They're going to break everything down for you most likely if it's a good build guide. It'll give you your gem setups, your passive tree, different classes you can roll with, uniques that are really going to take that build above and beyond. So let's hop over real quick. Alright, so as an example, if you're not in game, you just want to check, you can always go to the PoE website, go to patch notes. It'll bring you to this page. It'll show you, a lot of similar threads. So 2.1, that's the current version we're in. So all I did was I searched for PoE 2.1 budget builds, and I got a whole list of build guides out there. And I just kind of went through, browsed through a bunch of them, and I came across one that sounded interesting to me. It's a Blade Vortex build, so I haven't played this yet, so I thought this might be fun to kind of give a shot. Now you got to be careful. There's going to be times where there's existing guides that are basically just updated for upcoming patches, so you need to take it with a grain of salt because currency is pretty relative to the player. I mean, this might be cheap for some people, it might seem really expensive for others. So you really have to take things with a grain of salt. The good thing I like to do is just find a cheap build that's not very gear required and just roll with that at the beginning of each league. It's going to help you build up some wealth, and then after you've made that first character and you have a little bit of money saved, then you can splurge on getting items for different builds. I'm going to try to make this build for this video series. I'm going to try to just do it completely like it's a brand new league. So I'm only going to use currency that I find, or I'm going to designate some stash tabs on the side for selling items, and then whatever I get from that. So your experience is going to differ every beginning of every temp league. So you might get lucky, get some good drops, you might build up currency really quick, and that can change things really fast. But just for simplistic sakes, just search for a cheap, beginner-friendly build guide. It's just going to improve the quality of your life so much playing PoE. just listen to the advice they have. Follow the build tree. Try to understand the decisions they made, and certain aspects of the game will start to become a lot more easy to understand for you. So I'm going to follow this one. It's a shadow build, so I'm going to basically just play through, try to give you guys some highlights as I make it through, normal, cruel, merciless, give you guys some updates on the way, maybe show you any cool drops I get. I'll give some general tips, and the best part is I'm going to make this so it's like a brand new temp league, so I'm not going to have any current currency I have. I'm not going to use any of that, so it's going to be all self-found basically. So hopefully this video series will be helpful for any new players out there. Like I said, I hope it transcends this meta, future meta. Hopefully it'll give you guys some ideas. So alright, Exiles, hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you guys later.